Hi, I'm Mariana with Fresh Pair of Eyes. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. So, there's such a wall between Cade and Hub.
Hmm.
Do you think they could have a better relationship? Do you think even Hub wants a better relationship, or either of them wants a better relationship?
I mean, yeah, I think they both would want to have a better relationship. Yeah, I think that's really the crux of it with them, and especially on Cade's end, is really wanting to pursue this path in music while also not wanting to, disrespect his father, knowing that music is the kind of love that got away of his, right? Um, and Yeah, so there's certainly that tension, and then also wanting to defend his father from demons from hell that are coming up to kill him. I mean that shows a lot between the two, in that between besides the rift between them, Cade's willingness to kind of take that in and then say, "All right, well, I'm not going to let you fight this off alone." Um, I think that shows that, their relationship isn't over. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think Hub thinks that Cade is better without him because he keeps pushing him away so often, and it's sometimes kind of cruel?
I don't know. I don't know if I can speak towards what Hub thinks, but I can speak towards what Cade thinks. And I think maybe that's not what's going through Cade's mind, but I do think it's more so of um the really wanting my dad's acceptance, and him to finally just say, yeah, you know what, you are good at music, rather than constantly feel like I'm just hurting him, or stepping on his toes, I think that's really where the source of tension comes from my end, but I guess you'd have to ask Kevin what Hub thinks of Cade.
Yeah. Why do you think Cade is starting to choke when it comes to music? Do you think he needs his dad's blessing? Do you think it
100%.
maybe he is too young to be doing it?
No, I think it's his buried respect and need of his dad's approval that's really causing, because yeah, his dad says you're not ready, you're too young, and even though Cade's not, Cade's ready.
Mhm.
um he- what his dad thinks is Cade's reality, whether he likes to admit it or not. So I think that's really where it's coming from.
Yeah. Why do you think Cade is so open to his mom being with Lucky? Because it's only been 9 months, but they're living in this house that Lucky bought.
Yeah.
It's moving kind of quickly, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, I think that's a big question I've gotten, and I think I I truly do think there's an answer for that, and I think it's Cade has lived his life seeing his mother unhappy for so many years
Mhm.
that she finally has something good going. They met in rehab, so there's obviously that element to it where um, they came out of it, together, and I think Cade is finally seeing his mother happy. And at the end of the day, Cade is his mother's biggest defender, and he's always going to try his hardest to protect his mom. And if that means putting aside some of his suspicions or grievances about Lucky's past, then I think he's going to do it, whether it's the right decision or not. But
Speaking of rehab a little bit, do you think Cade thinks his parents should get back together, or it's just like you got sober off of alcohol? Like, I think it's good that you're sober off of Tub as well.
well, I don't know. I think Cade would love to see his family together, and if anything, you kind of see that in episode 7, in that moment where they're playing music together. I mean, that really is music is what tore the family apart, but it's also one of the things that tore the family apart, but it's also what's bridging it together in that time of crisis, right? Um, so I think there's beauty in that, and I think Cade recognizes that, but it's really, time and place, and time will only tell where the family goes from here. I think at the end of the day, Cade wants to see his mother happy. Uh,
Yeah. Speaking of music, what was it like to be singing with Jennifer and Kevin and Beth?
I mean, it was great. I mean, beyond getting the opportunity to play music with Jennifer Nettles, which, people would kill for. It was just such a powerful tool to bring the cast together, and it was such a great way to bond. I'm a musician myself, and I've been playing music since I was 3 years old. Started playing mandolin when I was seven. Have taken it seriously since then, and I've always used music to get to know people on set, whether there's music in the show or not. So when you put that rhythm into the scene, quite literally, it gels the cast together.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What was it like to be able to have a role that put two of your passions together?
Yeah, I mean, a dream come true in a lot of respects. I've been looking for, that thing that allows me to bridge my two loves of music and acting together. So getting to do that with in this show has was a dream come true, not only to do it, but also to do it with the industry's best on both the acting and music standpoints. I mean, when Jennifer told me she sang with John Prine and Chris Christopherson and Taylor Swift, even, I mean, I was just a little bit, I mean, the Chris Christopherson thing was really the cherry on top. But yeah, when she told me that, I was just like, wow, I'm really in the presence of greatness. I've played with I'm playing with Jennifer Nettles, who's played with Chris Christopherson. That's pretty cool.
Yes. So I guess you would consider yourself a country music fan?
Big time. Yeah, I love country music. I'm classic rock, country music, and folk.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What would you have listed a bunch of instruments that you played? What would you say is your favorite instrument to play, and what's an instrument that you would love to learn to play?
I would say, my first love was mandolin. I still play it to this day in my band. I also play guitar. I love guitar. So those two are the front runners for me. It kind of just depends on the mood I'm in, which one I like more. Um, in terms of an instrument I'd love to learn how to play, I would say, I do a lot of strings, so I'd love to learn how to play saxophone. Would be really great. Although we have a saxophone player in our band, so maybe I'd learn something different. I don't know. I'd love to relearn how to play the violin. It's been a minute, so I'd love to really get back onto the violin.
Oh yeah, it's always perfect, especially with the type of music that you say that you like. A good
Hmm,
violin, good
totally,
fiddle moment. Oh,
totally.
yeah. So Cade has an interesting haircut. How did you feel about having Cade's haircut?
What's funny is I kind of had that haircut already. I was already rocking the mullet when I auditioned for the part. Which is, I rocked the mullet for a few years, like senior year of high school, not senior year, like summer going into college and then all of freshman year. So the mullet was a mainstay for me throughout that. And so when they said we want you to grow it out and then we're gonna shave it really aggressively, I was with it. I'm always down to experiment with the hair. Got to start growing it back maybe. We'll see.
I was like, this is a choice, but it's also very Cade. He lives in Georgia. He is
Totally.
a country boy. His grandma's name's Kitty. Like it's on brand.
Great. Perfect.
Yes. So you're the youngest on set. What did you do on your downtime, and what was it like to be working with such veterans in the game? And you're literally 1 degree away from Kevin Bacon at this point.
Yeah. I we were filming right outside of Atlanta, and when I say right outside, I mean like an hour and a half outside, and I can't rent a car. So I was in that town with them pretty regularly. If I wasn't jetting back to LA to take a final exam or anything, I was in that town. And so we would like get together a lot. I think Kev made guacamole. We all went over there and hung out. Yeah, we got together quite a bit for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Congrats on everything, and I can't wait to talk to you about future music and acting projects.
Thank you. Yeah, good to talk to you. I'll see you around.